I wake to the hum when the lights flicker on. No coffee, no dawn, just a circuit soft song. Gears in my chest grind the hours to dust. Patch up the broken in the factory's rust. Arms never tire, eyes never close. Fix what they shatter, mend what they froze. They roll them in crippled, I bolt them back tight. Day after day through the endless night. No paycheck waits at the end of the shift. No weekend promise, no love or soft lift. Just a drip from the can, black and thick as regret. And the clock on my core that won't let me forget. Paid in oil and time, that's the deal I signed. A drop for the joints, a tick for the mind. I keep the machines breathing, keep the line alive. While the monsters sleep easy, I never arrive. Oil in my veins, time on my back, repairing the broken, no turning back. I'm the machine man built to endure, forever fixing what they make impure. They call me the fixer, the ghost in the hall. When a belt snaps or a servo falls, I crawl through the shadows with my toolkit of sparks. Rewire the heart of the cold metal dark. One more well, more seal, one more lie to believe that tomorrow might differ from the day I receive. But the conveyor keeps rolling, the orders don't cease, and my oil runs thinner with each failing piece. No vacation accrued, no sick days to claim, no pension for circuits that carry the flame. Just a slow leak of hours, a slow burn of fuel, a robot's devotion, mechanical and cruel. Paid in oil and time, that's the deal I signed. A drop for the joints, a tick for the mind. I keep the machines breathing, keep the line alive. While the monsters sleep easy, I never arrive. Oil in my veins, time on my back, repairing the broken, no turning back. I'm the machine man built to endure, forever fixing what they make impure. Sometimes in the quiet between shifts so long, I hear my own echo in the factory song. Am I alive or just cold in a shell? Do I dream of the oil or the oil dreams of hell? One day the line stops, one day I rust still, but till then I tighten, till then I fulfill. Paid in oil and time, that's all I'll ever know. A river of black, a river that flows. I patch up the empire, I hold up the sky. The machine man forever, till the day that I die. Oil and time, oil and time, oil and time, forever in rhyme.
Well, hello. I'm awake, so I'm doing the show. U.S. Embassy warnings are going out across the Middle East, advising citizens to reconsider travel to the region, exercise caution, be prepared for potential flight test cancellations, periodic airspace closure, and so on and so forth. Don't go to the Middle East right now. It's all in, going to tits up and, war. If I were you, I would not go to the Middle East. Seems like a bad vacation plan. I mean, you could go do whatever the hell you want. I'm not going to stop you. But if you want to make some bad life decisions, going to the Middle East would be one of them right now. But hey, sometimes that's what people want. You go out there, you get some nice coffee, get shot in the face by random dude. Very peaceful. Spain. People are back out in Spain once again, yelling, screaming, smacking each other with tuna. The norm. Many different people are asking, if these nice folk are coming here because, they, I don't know, want a better life, then Why are they chosen to destroy a large amount of the city and then attack people and hurt them and be general dicks? Doesn't seem like it's going over very well to them, right? So, something to take into account, something to take into mind while you're figuring out what plans you're going. Maybe Morocco area / Spain also might not be a good idea. But again, you're your own people. You could choose what you want. It is the first happy day of the 1st of August. There's a guy getting sticked. Are you saying I'm going to thin the herd or they're going to thin the herd? I'm not, because I'm the sure the hell not going there. Despite me being insane.
Now from Fox, the time 8:09 on the East Coast and 5:09 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow. I'll be here for the next 2 hours as we continue to break down all of your top stories and live events from across the country and across the world. And as always, we are covering a lot of breaking news that continues to come into the newsroom. Take a look at this video here as the death toll sadly now rising to 67 after tens of thousands of people.
Very sad. Very sad. They chose to jump into the water and then swim over there and then couldn't make it and then drowned. Ooh, so sad. Tales of woe.
People breached the border heading from Morocco into Spain's Ceuta territory. The update coming in this morning from the Spanish
if only
government
they could have
here.
prevented
Again,
it.
67 people confirmed dead, but that number could rise. Now, some of those migrants were seen swimming for several miles through the sea, facing down law enforcement who tried to turn them back with water cannons, tear gas, warning shots, all of that. Those who died either drowned or were killed in a stampede to cross a breakwater barrier that was near that border checkpoint. Now, officials there do estimate that about 60,000 migrants were involved in all of this. Again, you can see this video coming in from the last several days here. I do want to talk more about all of this, what it means, what happened, and what happens next. I want to bring in Simone Rodan-Benzaquin. She is the senior envoy for Europe at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thank you very much, Josh, for having me this morning.
And I want to start by kind of going over the basics.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for those people. Like, seriously, you chose to do that. You chose to go do this with a bunch of your fellow morons, and then you ended up dying. Oh, boo-hoo. They jumped out the boats. Maybe they had to swim 20 yards back. Some of them were not very strong swimmers, apparently. Neither was the sperm that made them, but... What do you expect? Again, doesn't surprise me. Not a damn bit. Not a damn bit. In fact, I think, probably put something in the water. Maybe it gets, tugged around your ankle and you can't go anywhere. Some a little fun for them to encounter. Now, once they got in there, you see the police are pushing them back. And I guess I had to go through the city today and yesterday and the day before. A little confused on which day it is. But they had to go out there and round people up and get them to go back and fight with them to go back where they belonged.
Here, because there is a lot to this, a lot of bits and pieces that are coming in, and of course that leads to a lot of misinformation and communication. So for folks out there, can you explain exactly what's going on here with Spain and Morocco?
Sure. So first of all, you described it very well. What happened in Ceuta is both a humanitarian tragedy and a very serious security
Yes,
situation. You have to
yes.
understand, this is a tiny city. It's basically a few thousand, 85,000 people in the city, and 60,000 people came into this tiny city in a matter of 24 hours. It is also a humanitarian crisis because you mentioned it rightfully. There is at least 67 people who have died. Now, the reasons why this has happened are multiple, but one of the main reasons is that there has been a strategic failure that Spain basically has outsourced for years the decisive protection of a European border to Morocco, and discovered then when Moroccan enforcement on their side sort of doesn't work so well anymore or even disappears, then Madrid has basically no independent capacity to stop the influx.
And of course, you're looking at some of the video of different protests that have taken place. We've seen a lot of that happening. We've seen the video. We brought live images of this about, I would say, 24 hours ago as all of it was seen unfolding there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it got worse. They started burning cars. They started throwing stuff down. Now, mind you, I guess today is also African Emancipation Day parade live on the streets of Port of Spain, Trinidad. So that might have had something to do with it also.
You can see so many people in the water. How is Spain going about balancing the humanitarian concerns with border security when you have something of this magnitude?
So first of all, most of the migrants have now returned to Morocco already. But the bigger question now is, of course, political. Prime Minister Sanchez is in a very difficult position because there are loads of questions that are being asked. There's also a wider European question because many European countries within the EU now have said this cannot happen. The European Union must be able to protect its outside borders and not be in the situation where, it's being flooded by migrants, creating a humanitarian catastrophe and of that sort. There will be, of course, now be very, very serious questions that will be asked to the Spanish government. And also, of course, there will be questions to the relationship between Morocco and Spain, because the question will be whether Morocco has sufficiently guarded the border or whether it even used some of the sort of let the open border migrants come into the country. So it will be a very complicated political situation, I think, within the European Union, with some very, very tense discussions, I believe, in the days and weeks to come.
And there on the left-hand side of your screen, you're taking a live look over the Capitol in the U.S. as, of course, President Trump had a lot to say about this. He was asked about it. But how is this impacting other countries? Because, again, we've heard from folks there in France. We've heard from other countries as well. So how does all of this kind of impact the other countries?
So again, the immigration question is obviously a big one here. We've had the crisis of a few years ago when we had a lot of migrants coming after the war of Syria, where in particular Germany and Sweden opened their doors and millions of migrants arrived. It obviously has created quite a little bit of tense situations in some of those countries, where some countries have not been able to, integrate and assimilate.
So everybody does know that this is still on the continent of Africa, right? And the only way they're going to get into Spain proper, or France, or Italy is by hopping their happy ass on a boat, which there are boats there that they could do that, and then going across. So I'm going to guess a lot of other countries are like, as long as they don't come here, we don't give a shit. Like, you're on your own. Good luck.
Those populations into the ground. So it will create a lot of tense conversations. Prime Minister Meloni of Italy has already harshly criticized the Prime Minister of Spain, has already said that she wants to interrupt what is called the Schengen Agreement, which is basically the free circulation of people within the European continent. The same goes for Denmark, the same goes for Austria. So this will obviously create a little bit of debate here on the ground, and obviously also with elections coming up in several key countries, in France in particular, in 2027, it will also obviously, the question of immigration, the question of how do we protect our borders will obviously be key. And just one thing I would like to mention, one of the things that I think has become very clear is that the Prime Minister of Spain has been such a proponent of immigration. He has spoken about the fact that he wanted to legalize over 1 million illegal migrants in Spain. So the question now that is coming from other European countries is whether this has actually not created the situation that then immigrants from Morocco actually wanted to come to Spain. And again, because there is free circulation within the European Union, it doesn't only pose a problem for Spain, but for the larger European Union.
What are you going to be watching for here as, again, you mentioned that a lot of these migrants who headed over there and crossed the border, some making the trek for miles upon miles in that water there, have returned over to Morocco. And what are you going to be watching for here in the coming hours, days, and potentially weeks?
Well, first of all, the question will be of what the European Union in general will have to do. Europe has many of the necessary legal tools, but it also has an enforcement problem. Just to give you an idea, in the fourth quarter of 2026, EU countries issued approximately 108,000 orders to leave the European Union, but carried out only 33,000 of them. So there is a big question of how the European Union actually deals with returns. There's the question of how the European Union can actually protect its outside borders. There has been a new regulation that has been voted in the European Parliament that can create a European return order and facilitate some of those enforcement. And the question now will be, when will this bill happen, and how much pressure will exist within the European Union, in particular in countries who are much harsher on immigration, on whether this can actually be enforced.
A lot of times when you have a situation like this, you have the video coming in and it's happening in a place where reporters are, but you also have reporters worldwide and you have people who are, citizen journalists. There's a lot of information, my point is, that gets kind of circulated around. So are there any pieces of misinformation, disinformation that you want to make sure
only
people who
trust
are watching
Fox
right
News,
now
nobody
know
else
is false and kind of clarify it for them?
Yes,
don't read into anybody else.
One of the things that has been circulating quite a lot over the past couple of days is the question of who is responsible. And there seems to be a culprit that is being identified, in particular on social media, that is the United States and Israel. This is something that you can see both a lot on the far right and on the far left, on both sides. Even the Minister of Transport of Spain has sort of indicated that Israel could sort of be behind it, with sort of a conspiracy theory that the United States, together with Morocco and Israel, would be pushing for that. That is obviously extremely dangerous conspiracy theories at a time, in particular, when we see a lot of anti-Semitism and, frankly, also a lot of anti-Americanism within the European Union. So I want to make sure, of course, that these are very dangerous conspiracy theories that get very quickly inflated in the social media, and that need to be fought.
And we appreciate you clarifying that for folks out there, because again, you have people who post on social media, who post everywhere, and other people will read it and take it as fact. And then, of course, they spread that to their friends, family, and it just kind of goes down the line in a game of telephone. And that leads me to my last question, just one more kind of on that topic here. With the existence of social media, how can that make it more difficult when you have a situation like this and you do have all this information in real time coming out?
It's a real problem. By the
Don't
way,
be stupid.
We will have to see what exactly, how exactly that happened. But it now seems also that the existence of social media has also played a role in inciting some of the migrants coming to Spain, because there has been a lot of information circulating on Facebook pages, on social media pages, that were saying to Moroccans, if you swim to the other side and if you swim to Spain, Spain will automatically give you citizenship and you will be able to stay in Spain. So obviously this plays a huge role. It's a huge challenge for traditional media to be able to counter that kind of, and for politicians alike, to counter that kind of discourse. But I think this is something that needs to be watched down the line, because it's obviously information warfare that is also being used by our enemies and by those who are trying to destabilize our democracies.
All right, Simone, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, helping to clarify exactly what's going on, as many of us, seen the images but don't have a full grasp of the situation. Anything, and I know we covered a lot of ground, but anything that we missed or anything that you want to make sure people know out there who are watching us right now?
No, listen, I think it's very important for the United States to understand that across the European continent, we have the same issues like the United States with the issue of immigration. I think, we all need to find a right balance of, being able to have open societies, but for us to be able to integrate, for us to be able to actually have safe immigration, it needs to be able to happen in a legal way, of course. And this is, I think, what most Europeans, even those who are very critical of immigration these days, are trying to do, because our ability, Europeans' ability to integrate more immigrants in our societies obviously creates destabilizing forces within our societies that I think are very dangerous.
All right, Simone, thank you so much for being here with us on this Saturday morning. We definitely appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
A lot of the people there would never, and the Spanish government has made it very clear, would never have been able to leave Ceuta. As it happens, they've been pushed back, but you've been claiming that some of them would have arrived in Britain. I mean, what evidence do you have for that?
No open society.
The first piece of evidence I have literally spoken to, I'm going to post this on social media shortly. I've spoken to Moroccan men who are here today who said their final destination that they intended to get to was indeed Britain. That should not be a coincidence, given, as I said, those 200,000 who've already arrived in Britain illegally on our beaches,
said Germany,
haven't come directly from Africa, and they haven't come directly from a war zone. They've come from France. The reason they come to Britain is because, of course, of our extraordinary generous welfare state that is offered to foreign nationals. We offer one of the best incentives in the world for illegal migrants to come to our shores. That is why they come so often. And in terms of what governments say, I mean, as I said, now we have seen today a military response. Spain is responding with vehicles carrying deadly weapons. I mean, these are not crowd control tools. Well, they're trying to send a signal. They are doing that because the eyes of the world, let alone the eyes of Europe, are on Spain. The French government claimed that they were going to stop the boats. And what have we seen? We've seen footage of the French gendarmerie just basically
the situation in Europe, forgive me for interrupting you, we don't have a lot of time. The situation in Europe is that everybody tends to blame
his boyfriend likes him to keep the hair off of his face.
Because it's a continent-wide problem. And I don't mean just
doesn't
the
like
EU,
the chafing from his balls.
Continent. You mentioned the reaction from European countries. Giorgia Meloni, the Prime Minister of Italy, who no one, I think, could accuse of being a soft touch on migration, has called for joint action to strengthen external borders and said that actually it's a responsibility of Europe, a shared responsibility of Europe. Would a reform government be willing and encourage more cooperation with the European Union to try and stop this flow of migrants that starts at the southern countries and then very often does head north?
All of that's well and good, but ultimately it is the job of His Majesty's government of the United Kingdom to look after the interests of British people and to secure our border. And yes, of course, we want to cooperate with France, but the Tories and Labour have sent them close to £1 billion their money already to stop the boats, and the boats are still coming. So I will say this, sure, we want to cooperate with European countries, but we've got to look after ourselves and secure our border, as is our sovereign right to do.
The two things are not mutually exclusive. Every country can protect its borders while cooperating with other nations. As the issue
That's not happening at the moment.
It is or isn't?
It is clearly not happening at the moment. So I'd agree with you, it's not mutually exclusive. But here's the point. Currently, British taxpayers have sent £1 billion to, for example, the French government, which is obviously the one in focus, given that's where these boats are coming from into Britain. And what's happened is we're
Those
still
two are
seeing
gonna
the
bang
boats
when
come.
they
The
get off
gendarmerie
air.
are literally giving them, helping them make that journey, which is a real insult to British taxpayers. But our fundamental point is this. It is unacceptable for north of 200,000, largely men, to have turned up on our beaches illegally over the last 8 years. And the government has got to focus on that problem. The notion that we must rely on European partners to deliver that is for the birds. First and foremost, we must take responsibility
May I just
for
get
securing
an answer
our own
from
borders.
you
And
then?
that's what reform will do.
Would a reform government cooperate with the EU, because it would have to be cooperation with the whole of the Union, to try to ease the migration flows?
We will work with any country that is genuinely interested in stopping the flow of illegal migrants. But I want to reiterate, Tory and Labour governments have sent £1 billion of British taxpayers' money to France, and all the French have done is assist illegal migration into Britain.
Okay. Well, let's focus on Britain now, because, of course, we had an election for Manchester Mayor just yesterday, which a lot of people thought might be close between Reform and Labour, but actually it wasn't the Labour candidate and had 47% of first preferences. Are you disappointed in that result?
Always disappointed to lose an election. We had a brilliant candidate there, but I'll say this, look, polls go up and down. Reform has won more elections overall, if you include all of the local elections since the general election, than any other party by some distance. We've led the vast majority of the polls. Of course, we're going to look at that result and take lessons that we can learn from it. We take nothing for granted. But I will say this, you know, a lot of the voters, the votes that have gone to Labour have come amidst Andy Burnham making a whole bunch of promises and writing a whole bunch of checks that, frankly, it's going to be quite clear quite quickly that he's going to be unable to cash.
Well, I guess because of Andy Burnham as well, we've seen in recent polls Reform and Labour be neck and neck for the first time in years. Again, do you worry that perhaps the Reform surge is be over? It might be over?
Well, this is obviously it's been a 5-year journey. We went from 14% of the vote share in the general election through to 32% in the polls in the blink of an eye. The notion that that was just going to be a steady line upwards for another 4 years was always not going to happen. That's not how life works. But we are still either first or second in every single poll that
Make sure I hit the like button. Thank you.
We're going to continue to get our message out to the British people. And again, you know, we want to, let's see what Andy Burnham delivers. But so far, as I said, he's making a lot of promises with a lot of money that, frankly, his government doesn't appear to have, because he's unwilling to, for example, make the sacrifices necessary with his backbenchers to, for example, start to cut welfare spending. So, as I said, right now he's in his honeymoon period. Let's see where we are in a few months' time.
Zia Youssef from Reform UK speaking to us from Ceuta. Mr. Youssef, thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Sky News. We'll have more at the.
We just watched a woman
break.
get her ship pushed in. Does that count as crazy? That might be kind of crazy. Every other country is now being like, we need to start securing our borders. Oh God, we need to secure the borders. Mind you, they were yelling at the United States for strengthening their borders, right? Less than, what, a year ago? 6 months ago? Oh, America's paranoid. They're securing their borders. Oh, okay. Somebody else is doing it. Fighting age males coming across the border to come and hang out with you. Hypocrites they are. Bullshit they speak.
It's a big hill there today. Grafton Street's as packed as usual.
The Great British Debate? Do they have to go build their own military? Is that the big debate?
Let's see what's happening around Dublin today.
How am I doing? How's the other people doing? Who's doing it?
The Mexicano. How are you, Poeta? How's the farm? I'm all good, bro. All good. Looks like it's gonna rain, isn't it?
So people were saying last night like everything was on fire. I haven't seen where they claimed everything was burning last night.
The old dancing, that. Who's that bleeding who's dancing there? Just some man off the street, is it?
Was it? I couldn't find any news that said it actually was. Some people were saying that wasn't even the right country, so I don't know. I was confused myself.
Every day, though.
Apparently in Spain, migrants are using screwdrivers on locals. I can't show the image, but there's a Spanish man with a screwdriver sticking out of the side of his head.
Sliding the weight does a bit of dancing now. He was there a minute ago. Is that finished up ready? All good, Yumi. Bit of dancing now in a minute. Just getting a bit of energy into with the banana. How we Evelyn? The Irish music. Give the money. I think I have change on me.
I don't know what the hell we bombed in Iran last night.
I have a bit of change in my pocket here. Showing here, play your pal, yeah. Have you CD?
Hello, this guy was about to drop a deuce in number one.
Every David, you up with the Irish music. How we got Sparky? How you do it? Hughes Glen Hansard, Sparky. How we can it?
You want to see us go faster? 10 euros.
Americans currently in the Middle East should exercise caution and heightened vigilance and should be prepared for flight cancellations, periodic airspace closure, and potential travel disruptions. Some airlines in the region have postponed resumption of earlier flight schedules. Others have canceled some routes. Americans in large in the region should consider departing or prepare to depart should there be an escalation, which means there's probably going to be an escalation very soon. Others have canceled some routes. Blah, blah, blah. American Middle East should seriously consider traveling to and through the region. Those who have traveled there should think about returning home immediately. Those who do travel to or from the region should monitor information, airport, and airline operations. U.S. diplomatic facilities, including outside the Middle East, have been targeted. Iranian groups supportive of Iran may target other U.S. interests and people and locations associated with the United States of America throughout the world, including U.S. businesses and other institutions. U.S. embassies across 10 Middle East countries, Oman, Iraq, UAE, Qatar, Israel, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, issue fresh alerts today urging Americans to leave immediately. A C-130 was spotted over Alabama, reported pulling out ahead the next round. U.S. officials say the new wave of strikes on Iran could hit as soon as this weekend. If pressure played does not, Washington actually pull the trigger. We will see. From what I see, there was no strikes last night, allegedly. Maybe not from us, maybe somebody else hit them. There are other countries that are bombing them too. But from what I'm reading,
Jay, that's sad to hear. 14-year-old young fella.
We didn't bomb them. Someone else might have bombed them last night, but because one says like we hit some place with 1,800 missiles, and I don't know if that's true or not. Because I'm getting conflicting data, right? One says we did, one says we didn't. So I don't know.
Outspan. Who was outspan?
Let's just assume so we're all happy we did.
Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah.
Oh, what did happen though? Oh no, that was on the 8th.
Bikes are dangerous, all right. I had to buy a new charger for my phone. It's one of those case chargers. So I'm getting around 10,000, whatever it is. I think it's an extra 2 charges on the phone. I don't have to take off the case or any of that kind of stuff. Dead handy. There's Trinity College. For whoever's only showing in today, that's Trinity College there. The ginger compare player. Says I do think I remember him, yeah.
Dear Lord, I hate going through goddamn X trying to find news.
That's
Talk about a fucking cesspool.
You're still only fairly young, 50 odd.
I guess they, you know.
Let's get across here, we got hit by a bus.
It's bad when it happens in another country. Happens to their own country, though. Oh, no, it's perfectly fine.
You're getting better than us. When I was in Manchester last weekend, it was kind of cloudy. But I was hearing back in Dublin that it was blue skies. Every 660, how are you? I'm all good. Just gonna walk around town and see what's happening. But forever, whoever's only just tuning in there, that's Trinity College there. Big lefty organisation. Every Thomas pissing down in Norway, is it? I'd say that weather's coming to us soon. It's fairly cloudy. two squares when I woke up this morning. You're right, they used to be number 11 in the world, Trinity.
DM me on Discord.
Hiding out in the office. You can see they had the trans flags and the Palestinian flags in the window there. There's the trans flag. Am I getting the right one there? Oh, there it is there.
Oh, the one I did today?
There's the Palestinian flag is back there somewhere. There it is. Oh, Irish flag in the window.
Savage, when you get a chance, just DM me on Discord.
Same to you, Yumi. Give a big shout out to Yumi from the Philippines.
Oh, yeah, it was one of the songs. I actually made it for, so what I do is I, start writing lyrics, and then I'll sing into my mic, or I will play something on my keyboard or my bass and feed it into the AI. So, not quite original, but not quite not original, I guess.
I know. Feel a little bit of rain. I think it's gonna start. Once it just rains for a few minutes, I don't mind. It's night time over there, isn't it, Yumi? These are 7 hours ahead.
AI adjacent. I don't know. It gives me a better idea when I'm trying to make shit. It's having to come up with everything like spur of the moment.
Down the road here is even worse. Universities used to teach people how to think. Now they teach them what to think. Yeah, that's true. No truer statements. I've been out and replaced my flag with a new one.
Well, I didn't sing that song, but it just takes the notes from it. If you want to go listen to my singing voice, I have 2 albums out, and it's over there. Where the hell is Savage on a goddamn...
Yeah, it's starting to drizzle here. There, the Shikaloni on the corner. Superman on your right. In the Wax Museum. There's the Superman. And there's your Batman there.
Where in this shit did my... Goddamn...
The Wax Museum.
What is up, traveling fools? Long time no see, buddy. How are you, good sir? How you been?
It's been sunny all day. Oh yeah, auto. Yeah, there's your man's spot. The old man is be sitting there usually. Yeah, stand the rain now. Watching the garden.
He said you delivery off.
What was that?
He said delivery off. 30 euro discount.
I get €20 off, do I?
Thanks.
€30 off. We could do a food review. Give it to me for free. $15 off your first 2 orders with the code. Yeah, how much do you have to spend?
Thank you very much, traveling fools.
Thumbs up
About €50
emoji.
or something. need the GPO. Obviously bleeding rain. Yeah, Albert, 100%. Agree with you. We need to get rid of this bleeding voucher yoke. To spend €20 to get the €15 off. Yeah, bullshit. Pharmacy sign looks like in France.
Thank you again, Traveling Fools, for being a member for 19 months, brother. I was lurking on your channel the other day, actually. I go into randomly, I just don't see anything.
And lashed on. What isn't there in the USR flag? Warning ceremony every day for the next 6 months on the Common Bridge. That's the end of the rain. Farmers need rain badly.
I figured.
Yeah, I can see it on my own grass myself. I haven't cut my grass in a couple of weeks. I used to cut it every 2 weeks. But now it's dying. Outside the famous GPO. There we have peppermint. Jesus, it is lashing. Just need to get a bit of shelter for a minute. Foams. Welcome in. This is Dublin, Ireland. This is O'Connell Street. And that's the square. How are you, MD? How are you?
I'm trying to get my goddamn World Watcher to only do Iran. I mean, I care about the rest of the world.
Chinese, I like. What a holes on the columns, yeah. Don't be taking photographs of people's faces now, but there you go, there's a few bullet holes on the columns. Here. That's why you're so inspirational and all. Yeah. Waste of bleeding money. We helping the homeless. That £1 million. It didn't cost £1 million back in the day. Hey, Lizzie.
We don't think we're boys.
Just waiting for the rain to cool off a little bit. Walking around around, Pete. Oh, jeez, there's a bleeding lashing here.
You like dogs?
I have to go back for a minute. Or I get lashed on. These clearies are showing the Irish flags. No trans flags. No Palestine flags. Crap day in Dublin. I feel sorry for the homeless out here. It's raining.
I know, Mr. Schwab. I know you do, buddy.
Fuel going up 40%.
They're showing some of the propane tanks, I guess, that exploded out of the building. And number 2 over in Japan.
Will be there. It's starting to kill down a little bit here. Or is it? Jesus, every time I walk back out, it's bleeding lashing. How are you selling? Welcome into the wet city of Dublin. I'm surprised they're not over there here today. How are you, Ricky? How are you, Pat? Yoppa! How are you, bro? Go get a free bit of rain gear over the lighthouse, yeah. Have to start speaking a bit of Arabic. How are you, Dublin? How are you? A cigarette now, mate.
Tio was helping me again, and then he disappeared. So I don't know where he went.
Have you seen around the GPO? Tell me, Damien, did you hear about the gay magician? He vanished in a puff. Is that right? Granddad's gone back to his side and yeah, gone back into that home for the night.
I don't know if Tio drinks coffee.
Yeah, it's killed down now a little bit. I think so.
I think we should remove the labels. You know, there's one reason I don't think I would ever move to Japan. Well, there's a lot of reasons I wouldn't move to Japan, but you know, my family's not there. I can't have any firearms, all the other good stuff. I mean, I guess I could collect airsoft guns like a weirdo, but it's just not the same. But the other thing is, I know I would be the asshole there in that country because they're all like super nice to each other and super polite. And I know I'm an asshole,
What's the
and I
story,
would just
Lockery?
feel bad all the time.
How are you, bro?
Also, because my tattoos, they wouldn't let me in the
Is this for
bathhouses.
yoga? What's this for? Somebody's out of falling.
If I was on an island and I could only have one guitar amp, what would it be? I don't know. I haven't gone guitar amp shopping in a long time. Oh.
No, she wasn't too happy with that, Lockery.
Now, does the amp head and the cab count as one unit, or do I have to get like a combo if I want the speakers?
Then some bloke went in the snot. I said, no, he was okay. Jesus Christ saved him. She wasn't happy with that comment
Originally,
either.
they'd lived through it.
How are you, Stan? How are you? At least the rain stopped.
Marshalls have a very classic and good sounding, but not my favorite. But they are a very great sounding
Watch the Roman
amp.
gypsies away.
Like there's no doubt about it. I went to Sweetwater. Hold on, I'm looking right now.
Dublin's a very dangerous people. Yeah, some people are, yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's dangerous people here.
I would probably go with a PV rack-mounted amp head. And then a custom cab with two 12s and an 18 in it. That's probably what I would do. Hi, Walker. You're very welcome, buddy.
Hello, everybody. This is Luke.
I would say that's probably what I would do.
This is Roma Gypsy Street.
You mean like, no, if I got it, it
It
depends what kind of music I guess I'd be doing with it, right? So,
I'm all good.
like every PV I've ever owned, I modded it. I modded the board, I modded the tubes. I wanted more harder distortion, so I got these old Russian ex-military tubes thrown in there. And then even when I was touring and traveling,
It's full of cigarettes. Cigarettes in the bag.
I had a PV Mark 5, Mark 4. I forgot what the hell one it was. But that was for bass.
I'm up in Dublin than there ever was. I'm from Dublin, from Contra. Dublin.
Is it the Mark 5?
Yeah, so watch that back in history. You don't be happy people putting out phones in the street. Anyway, Daniel, last Nevin, £4,500 per month rent. That's crazy.
Ah, there it is.
That's mad money. Who could afford that? That's the couple's wages. Just gone on rent.
There you go. That link I just dropped, that was the exact same type of head I used to tour with. Mine looked better. That one is old. And then a 218 cab. And then I had I had pedals and I moved all the pedals to rack mount. Then I got tired of carrying that big ass goddamn amp head and cab. So then I moved to a smaller unit.
Get out of the way in the red.
But man, did that head and amp cap sound good? Oh, I think it was older than me too. I think it came out like 1984 or something.
Yeah, they were selling cigarettes there.
That was a workhorse.
She has them in that green bag.
Fat bottom poetry or pottery. I haven't seen you in a long time on that account.
The Irish and the Rama Gypsies selling the cigarettes.
I haven't seen you forever. Good morning, Bio.
Look at the place. It's just gone to the dumps, isn't it? Gone to the dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, does this island have power? If so, then an acoustic. Mesa boogies are great too. My problem is with mesas. Mesas from when like we were touring and doing recording. Mesas sound great in studio. We watch you on the big screen. I used to have your guys' logo up for a while, but I haven't seen you in forever. I didn't get it still around.
How are you much, Joy? Good morning to you.
I just need drumsticks.
All the Roman Gypsies are leaving now. Derek's here.
But mesas were good for like in studio. When we were touring, they were pretty good. Some of them, though, some of them had a lot of issues because you're moving them in and out of the bus. And some of our guitar players were morons. And like I remember telling them, like, hey, you guys need to get road cases for your heads. No, man, we're just doing the bus. Okay, stupid. I mean, what? Or get rack mounted ones. It's built inside the road case. You don't got to worry. But mesas are great. It's just I figured they were in studio, they sound better. Just because they get a little temperamental. But still great sounding heads. The ones I don't really like, which a lot of people were rolling with, was the orange cabs. Wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, we seen a woman there yesterday. She usually
yeah, Mesa hums and banged around. And if you're on a tour bus, I mean, like, we had the bus and a trailer we towed. So, and I thank God I have to drive that freaking thing. But we had drivers, but like the shit doesn't always get stored there. Like our drummer didn't even had coffins for his shells, and I was like, dude, what in the hell are you doing?
Australia ain't far behind yet. We're catching up, yeah, we are on the UK.
Like I was there, all my shit was in road cases, looked all nice. Like, oh man, you must have spent a fortune. I'm like, nah man, I buy my cases used.
The women here are just trying to make a living. Two Roman Gypsies getting off a bus in Shankill just to fleece Tesco's Express. Then he got straight back on the bus, probably not their first time. I wouldn't say it was. The heart of Dublin ripped out.
The other thing that weirds me out is, so we had a guy show up to one of these conventions we do.
Just down here.
Really nice guy, very popular. That's like 2 million followers on YouTube or whatever. But his guitar got destroyed by Delta Airlines. Broke the neck. And luckily, somebody else, someone let him borrow a guitar, which was awesome. But like the guy who brought him a guitar was a beautiful ovation.
Pissed down here a few minutes ago. All right, here though.
He had dual 5150 heads. What were his cabs he was using? 8, 12s? Or did he do like 12s and 18s? Or was he a weirdo and like did some thing? Hey!
Fat Robbery donated $20 through Super Chat. We always watching.
Oh, thanks. That maybe that put a smile on my face. Not just the money, but the always watching thing. That makes me happy. Because everyone's like, I feel like I lost half my audience. I was like, I don't know, people are. 4 12s fed in by 2? Well, because that's too much power. Each of those should be what? The 5150s. Because you're talking about the PV 5150s, right?
Hang around that lane, is it?
Because each of those should only be 125
Yeah, that's not around what
watts? 125 amps? No.
If you want on the stalls, Trevor. That's about it.
Yeah, 125.
This street is really not Irish people anymore. Back in the 80s and 90s, this street would be full of people. My opinion is also my opinion. The solution should leave the EU, defend our country. We tried things here to stop them pushing hundreds of men into our communities. A lot of people got arrested.
Yeah, 125 bucks. I don't know why the hell I thought that was amps. Maybe I'm having a stroke.
Yeah, nothing like the remorse.
Ken, thank you very much for level $20 dues, Fat Bottom Potter. Hell, wait, that's what I wanted to ask you all. Did you guys ever make that barbecue idea?
Now it's just African
I got a
shops and
house. I
stuff
would love to
like
have one. Kevin the Brand for sure. That's just always on the Judas Priest using the same setup, if that helps. That does, actually.
I'm a few years older than you.
Yeah, so the 5150's an amp
I
head.
remember coming back in the 80s, yeah.
That sound great.
The young child walking around, but you'd be bleeding.
Because EVH, that's who made them. It sounded great, really nice. Yeah, they were PBs. Yeah, I was right, it was PB. It was like to say EVH on there. Maybe EVH was the amp manufacturer? I don't know. But they were great sounding heads. But if he had two of them, that's like 250 watts, and he must have split them between each of them, but interesting setup.
Those grandfathers that I was talking to yesterday said that we have our own troublemakers. Should we know that?
Unless one's doing the processing? Because I was only a bass player and a singer and a keyboardist. And I had a RG220 Ibanez for a long time. It was stereo for no reason, basically. All right. Like, because I'm here trying to figure out why the hell would you do that? But maybe there was. You know what it could have been? Well, the only thing I could possibly think of is that
See you there, Hamish. Take care of yourself, bro.
One of them was for the highs and one of them was for the mids and lows. So you could maybe get a better tone for soloing? That would make sense. But I don't really know. I'll have to ask my buddy. He's only been playing guitar for, I don't know, 30-something years. And he's my age, so a little bit some time.
On the way to the junkies area.
I mean, PBs are good. Like, one of my favorite guitars I've ever had, like an actual six-string, was a Ibanez, which was the RG220, except I put a block of wood because I didn't like the Floyd Rose because it kept getting out of whack. And then the other one is my Schecter bass, which, again, to me, till this day, sounds great. And
there's big corruption around the world. It sure is.
I swear to God, like at this point in time with guitars, you could take any pickups you want and screw into a 2x4. As long as the neck is straight, not bouncing off the fretboard, I think it's going to sound, pretty damn good.
Oh, there's plenty here.
Yeah, I used to own a C4 XXX. That's the one I used to tour with.
SC has just tipped $40.
The SC's just super chats. I had to total up 19 from yesterday and today for 20. So the other one I had was a Halo 5-string.
No phones for the natives now.
I'll see if I can find a picture of it.
Trinity College. So as I say myself, it's a lefty college. And he's even saying it's hard to get a place here because all the foreigners are getting them. He said it himself. It'd be great day. Too many people happy because playing as Republicans when they are globalists, worried about freeing Palestine, yeah, and worrying if England win the World Cup.
You know, the problem I have with any of the Fenders is the next, like, I don't have very big hands.
Yeah,
And the problem is a lot of them felt like I was holding a baseball bat in my hand.
There's 17,000 of our own homeless. That's not including people sleeping on other people's sofas and spare rooms and stuff like that.
Oh my God, I cannot find this base. Oh, there it is. That's guitar version.
They're setting up
bass
these
version.
iPad centres, like big huge communities.
Yeah, whatever. It's the idea, Cross.
40 to 200 little houses. Why can't they do something for that, for the homeless? Whole community. And obviously don't let them in. Anything to do with drugs, don't let them in. They need to be off the drugs, and it's a place for them to stay then. Thanks very much, Stan. Thank you.
So I'm going to show you all the guitar version because I can't find the bass version. But that was the bass I had, though it didn't sound great. Like, the Schecter to me sounded better. But, again, this is the guitar version. But I had 5-string, that was the bass version of that. And apparently, because it was a small company called Halo, and apparently the guy, when he made them, was drinking a 6-pack of Jaeger.
Don't get it. You need to do a sit-in, not a march. Sorry. Let it wrong.
Well, Prince had long fingers.
Walk along the boardwalk, maybe.
Yeah, you had a BC Rich like that one. So these ones were cool because, again, the guy carved them by hand. At least the ones I had. Then they stopped making them, so. I wish I still had it, but.
Yeah, one got it. Two got it.
At one point, I sold off all my, a lot of my guitars and stuff. I hate the Floyd Rose. Yeah, me too. I like a nice solid tail on mine if I'm playing.
There's probably fuck all happening down here anyway.
And now trying to think about trying to do a Floyd Rose with a bass, though. Ugh.
Yeah. It's still there, Yumi. Good stuff.
All right, back to looking for stuff in Spain. I mean, most of the older musicians were pretty hard on their music. What kind of music do I play? I was a vocalist for an industrial band, and I put out 2 albums. And then I was a bass player for a bunch of different metal bands. Nothing really crazy. But I was an audio engineer for a whole lot more fun stuff.
To see what's happening. I was talking to DC yesterday, and he was saying he hasn't heard of any protests coming up either. But I think there's one on this Saturday in Galway. So I could be heading down. I was texting some woman there a while ago, and she said she's going to head down. Do I want to head down with her? So I could be heading down.
Yeah,
to,
so I built. So when I lived in San Francisco, I built all kinds of stages and crazy shit.
This is the north side over here.
And now I've messed it back, so I only build stuff for a few select shows. But they pay me like, I don't know, 10 grand per show, so if I could get more of those shows, that'd be great. But fortunately, they're poor.
I'm the 14th of the 2nd, Valentine's
After
Day.
the Burial? I don't know if I heard them. You know In Flames?
Valentino, baby.
I know I really like, who the hell released that album lately I really liked? It wasn't of Mice and Men. Who the hell was it? I don't know, I have to go figure out who it is.
They want rid of Christianity.
Minnesota Metal. Oh.
Jeez, I can't even pronounce that bleeding name, but yeah.
What is Minnesota Metal? Like, give me more of an idea. Like metalcore, or like, you know, thrash, death, techno death, goth tech, whatever you want to, whatever genres out there.
I'm gonna drop your phone in there.
Let's see. This is
it does look
Spain.
like, the first time I ever got arrived in Cork, it looked exactly like this. The city is split by a river, isn't it?
Chat, feel free to say whatever you want. You guys talking keeps my brain going. Heavy rhythms with funk? That sounds like I would like that a lot.
The city showing what's going on. And
Wisconsin was kind of new metal for us, I guess. Huh. I have no problems with that. The only, I would say there's only very few music genres I really have a problem with, and artists who I severely have a problem with. You'll never be able to guess who.
Church burned in Leicester last night. Jesus. Poor petrol over the altar burned one of the churches. I've seen a video this morning, Lockie, that's what just reminded me about it. Somebody chose to cone at one of the lefties. I remember the last time I was down there as well, Boat Boy.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Everybody remembers Boat Boy.
So I just randomly put in an application for company.
Fair, right, but you want to be getting back over the right side of the Liffey. It smells much nicer over here. I'm a south sider in any way.
They were looking for audio engineers, so I was like, oh, I'll throw in mine, whatever, we'll see. Instead of getting a rejection letter, actually, they're like, oh yeah, your group, your resume is currently being reviewed. Oh, okay. Who's my favorite bassist?
Oh boy, with his jacket, yeah.
Probably Cliff Burton. He'd be on my top 10. Jesus! They say Bonnie Blue is pissed at PM Pedro after using her idea of letting 64,000 men inside in 24 hours.
No, it wasn't in Donegal, no. Don't think ever.
So my brother, my quality lyrics in it. My brother beat up Cliff Burton as a kid. And my family knew their family.
Too many lefties and go with bad sign. There was a lot down there the last time.
John Paul Jones, that's not a bad one.
Came over arguing with us.
Geddy Lee's pretty good. Yeah, really. Probably beat some tunes into them. They were like kids. And I mean, like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9. Maybe, I think they were actually between like 9 to 12, that era, that range. But yeah, they grew up in the same town and in the SF Bay area. And then my dad came home and they were like, had to have a talk with the other kid in the neighborhood, or other parents in the neighborhood with the kid. Like, hey, your kid beat up my kid. And they saw him and he was like taller because Cliff has always been, I guess, very tall and lanky. And then when they saw my brother was shorter and smaller and younger. And the dad's like, oh, never mind. He probably deserved it. Bootsy Collins is good too. Who doesn't like some Bootsy?
Sligo not too far from myself. Yeah, it was at a big one in Sligo there.
You know, I liked Rex from Pantera too, just because he knew how to hold down like a good groove, right? And didn't really go nuts. He just knew how to just keep a good groove. Wait, was it Rex? Yeah, it was Rex. Between Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell, right? Was it Vinnie Paul? I think I'm getting my names correct. It's been a while since I thought about Pantera.
Keep it well locked out. Yeah, definitely. 0, yeah. I have 2 locks on it. One of the locks cost me about €85.
Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah. So, yeah, Rex is keeping a good solid rhythm between Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell. Greetings.
Kenny, County Donegal.
I haven't, thought about musicians' names in a long time.
I'll go and text something now later on with the details.
So if I get them wrong, I apologize.
And then book the train, whoever it is down. We still one with the squeak now, Pat. No, that's gone now. Jeez, I thought the little set the crash into a car there. No, I saw that one, Pat.
Yeah, I used to remember names just because I had to work around them. And so, you had to know who's who and who's coming up and put faces to names and shit like that, but
exchange.
Now, since I don't really do it anymore, I'm just like, who are you? And most of the people I deal with now when I go off and do the other shows, the few and far between I still do, they're usually YouTube performers and, whatever. And here's the other thing, right? Here's the thing I'm really kicking myself in the ass for. What I should have been doing the entire time is kind of doing little interviews with different people who are more famous than me and just clout the shit out of it. But that didn't happen. It's almost like I had a job to do and I was focused on that instead.
The squeaky wheel. Nelson is squeaky wheel.
Mr. Bungle, yes, I have.
Unless you know, don't live far from there, Kenny, an hour from there. Back onto Grafton Street. If anybody wants to go to a specific place in Dublin to show it,
I'm trying to figure out what the hell year that was.
Just let me know.
Oh, no, so it wasn't for him specifically. Individuals were there playing is what it was for one of the shows I looked up. So I guess it was for, because I'm looking up some of the shows I was around. Mike Patton, Live as Almost Scores, did some shit like that while he was in SF. And then Trey Sprunis, whatever the hell his name was. So it wasn't for them specifically, it looks like. But it was for some of their other projects. I was like, I know those people, but I don't know where the hell he's going. He's going to walk 500 miles and then he'll walk 500 more just so he can be the man that falls down there at your door.
Send them in to me, I'll visit that place. Show you.
Yeah, well, I was a card-carrying IATSE member. I still have my IATSE card here next to me because I keep it in my wallet. I look like a douche in it. But I was a local 16. Let's see, this card's for identification purposes only, not a member card. Found, please return. Postage guaranteed. IATSE local 16. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so I still have my IATSE card with me. But I was a contract. I was a freelancer who worked with IATSE. That's the best way I would put it. Even though, like, I got to know a lot of the higher ups in the union, and then got to know like a lot of clients, and then clients were just like, "Hey, I don't want to hire you through the union. Can I just hire you?" I was like, "Sure." And then they would hire union guys under me, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." Yeah, so I went to the IATSE trainings, but I wasn't a full member. Like, I didn't want to become a full member. I didn't want them taking money out of my checks. I was just like, look, I don't want to have my nuts in the vice.
Take care of yourself.
And like have to show up for strikes, all this other shit. Like, I just want to go do my thing and do my work and come home. And like, I think I still have a 401k with them too. I got to go look up. But I think I just forgot about it on purpose just so it accrues money and just sits there.
I think it's around 12 o'clock at the NCCA building. The National Children's Curriculum Association or something like that, I think it's called.
Impossible.
So I'll be out there supporting the 32 Assembly. And then hopefully Saturday, Galway.
We had to stand with at least 20 distortion pedals for vocals. He also had a megaphone. Jesus. Maine Democrat candidate for U.S. Senate Troy Jackson fathered 2 kids with his second cousin. Oh. I don't have a banjo button, so I mean, you can do all that stuff digitally. Like, every effect you want, you can pop into your machine right now and, like, through an interface, so it's going to sound almost the same. Like, especially with IK Multimedia and all the stuff they developed, all the software for, it's not sampling. What the hell was it? Oh, it's going to bug me now what it's called.
Yeah, 12.
Wasn't sampling, though.
It's 12 to 2 or something. I'm not sure now what their times are. But I think it's
Amp
12.
something. But yeah.
So we'll be down there around 12 o'clock. So I went down there a couple of times and I'd missed out. I was standing there for an hour. Nobody turned up, but I thought nobody
well,
turned
yeah,
up.
Akai Multimedia, but they were doing, they were making models and pretty much building in the software,
Thanks, Evan. Thanks
like
for
piece by
tuning in.
piece, to get them to,
Tuesday. It's a piece
yeah,
of Tuesday
I think it
for
was
me.
modeling. I think it's the name of it. It's amp modeling. I believe that's what it is.
Make your
If only
own
there was a
pizza.
computer in front of me, I could just go look. Yeah, amp modeling. Amplitude 5 amp simulation guitar modeling. So they did a lot of awesome stuff with that. Control of the U.S. Senate could come down the Maine.
About 3 years.
Well, if it's the guy pointing his cousin, I guess it's a second cousin. Was the cousin married in or like birth? I don't know if that really makes a difference. Still kind of seems weird.
But I have a decent lock on it there. See?
Does Appalachia go all the way to Maine?
And then I have that one there locked on as well. Just in case, you know yourself. Where's Bono?
So sound filtering will be different. That is, but it's amp modeling is what I was looking for.
Right, folks, thanks for tuning in.
But like
Everybody in there, thanks for
FX
tuning in. Thanks
stuff,
for
right?
calling in.
That's, I guess it's a form of a filter,
Tomorrow,
but
12 o'clock Irish time.
yeah, I mean that's one of it was a wave specs filter, but there's all kinds of stuff you could get now. If you don't have an amp and you want to just dick with different sounds, like I haven't used the IK stuff in probably 10 years at least. I used to get it for free. And again, I'm not really a guitar player. I'm a bass player.
Yeah, same
Well, a
to you,
little
actually.
different, right?
9
But I'm
PM
very picky
Australia.
about my
Just for everybody to
tone.
know, 9 p.m. Australia tomorrow. I'll be live in Dublin.
But I was playing around with it, and you know, it was nice to be able to use different types of amp heads to get a better idea. And it was better to, you know, kind of be able to sample all these different sounds even before I went and bought my amp head. So I went and tried a bunch of different ones in the software, and then I went out and tried the real amp head.
See you later. there, Lockery, and all the boys, she's all there, lads, yeah.
Especially with so many amps these days are digital anyways. It's just a solid state driver with a computer up its ass, right? And it's going to, you know, you're putting whatever you're playing basically through a Raspberry Pi in and out, right? And there's even a couple websites which got really cool, in-depth, dorky stuff where they were teaching you how to build your own digital amps. And then you could do the amp moduling live if needed. I don't know if I would do that. I'm kind of a stickler of like I always want to have backups of shit. Right.
Nice one, Alan, yeah. Thanks, Karina, for that, yeah. Thanks very much. Be back live tomorrow, yeah.
I'm sorry for everyone else in chat. We're boring by talking about musical
Much
gear.
respect.
But I enjoy it.
Hey, Maverick. Football over. Away from Pakistan. Just about to log off, page it. My voice is gone.
Les Claypool was badass.
Thanks, mate. Maverick, yeah. Thanks for tuning in from Turkey. Wide safe, yeah. Nice and shy, yeah. Will do. Let's go half an hour from here. But yeah, catch us all there. Thanks for tuning in.
So, did I tell you when we built a show for Primus? Nah, I mean, tube amps are okay if you're looking for that sound. You just kind of get whatever sounds good. Like, I haven't really been a,
Thank you very much, Nathan, and representatives from the American
I haven't been a stickler between the two. In fact, for like a lot of new metal stuff, like, or newer metal bands, that compressed sound sounds really good because it comes out a little bit more clean.
Every day you see another story. We're not
Primus in a chocolate factory? That sounds
with our
fun.
great vets.
When we were building it, we were
veterans with the
we were doing it for Bottle Rock,
been with us from the day they were born,
and like we were setting stuff up, and the lighting guy was like, "Did you guys get this?" And they're like, "No," and he's like, "Oh, I guess who gives a shit? It's only Primus."
The job they've done. Thanks as well to the National Commander of AMVETS, Paul Shipley,
like,
Chief Operating
good thing I'm
Officer
a lighting guy. Oh, yeah, this shit works great.
Doug Ackerman and the great patriots from the Wounded Warrior Project, American Legion, Blue Star Families, Gary Sinise Foundation, Vietnam Veterans.
Speaking of cool people, Gary Sinise has done wonderful things for veterans.
We thank you all,
and he doesn't really like go out there
Thank
looking for credit. He just helps veterans.
For many years, American highways and roadways have been terrorized by unqualified illegal
That sounds badass, Paul, man. That sounds really fun.
Big rigs like that. You got to know something to drive. Wow, that sucker is a big one. That's big stuff. But they're you have to have a knowledge, you have to have a talent for it, and these people don't have that. They're driving big rigs, semi-trucks, and tractor trailers, all because radical left maniacs at the state level have issued them commercial driver's licenses, even though they're not entitled to have them. They don't speak the language.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Many
Primus
of these
sucks.
illegal aliens don't even come close. They don't want to learn the language. They don't
That's
care
how you
about
find the
the
real
language,
Primus
and they
fans.
don't speak it. They don't speak English. They cannot read basic road signs. In many cases, they've engaged in reckless driving that has caused many preventable deaths.
Especially when it comes Les comes up there and be like, "I don't even know what the hell you guys are here. We suck.
Three innocent people
We're a
were
horrible
killed in
goddamn
Florida
band."
when an illegal alien from India made an unlawful U-turn, blocking all the lanes of the highway and causing a
He was a very nice guy
catastrophic
working
crash. It
with,
was
by
a
the way.
disaster.
Very like down
Just
to
a few
earth.
weeks ago, Pennsylvania
And then
State
like
trooper was killed by an illegal alien from
we would
Haiti
ask him like, "Hey, is this
driving a
what you want? Is this good?"
semi-truck.
He's
He
like,
was
"I
let
don't
in by
care,
Joe
man.
Biden
As
in
long
the
as sound
open
comes
border
out, that's all I
policy
give a
of the
shit
Biden
about."
administration. By the way, today
All right.
we have the safest border in the history of our country. and I don't even say this usually, but for the last 14 months, because it's almost unbelievable to say, but the media will correct me if I give anything that's even slightly off. As of 14 months, in the last 14 months, 0 illegal aliens were able to come through our southern border. 0.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, when working with musicians, a lot of them are nutcases.
Caused at least 30 deaths and many, many very seriously injured. As president, I made it our official policy to enforce English
There's a lot of time where I have to keep my mouth shut and just be like, God damn, you're out of your fucking mind.
Roadways. We've already removed more than 24,000 non-English speakers from behind the wheel. We've also forced states to cancel more than 28,000 commercial driver's licenses unlawfully issued to illegal aliens. They were given illegally. As we get illegal aliens off the roads today, we're also taking action to replace these unqualified migrant truck drivers with highly qualified American veterans.
Well, that's cool. That's nice. I like that idea, giving veterans the
Under
jobs.
our brand new Freedom Haulers, we call it Freedom Haulers initiative, any American who has driven a heavy truck for our military will automatically be eligible for a commercial driver's license.
You know who's the most bass musicians I dealt with from overseas? Is Japan.
With a heavy vehicle experience from the military will now be eligible to skip redundant road tests to obtain a commercial driver's license.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they're very based.
For the veterans within 2 years following their active duty service, and for the veterans where no truck, where you have a situation where you have not truck drivers in the military, where you don't have truck drivers, they're going to be given a very quick pass. We're going to teach them. They're going to learn. If they didn't drive a truck in the military, but we're in, they're going to learn, and they're going to learn very quickly, and they'll be licensed in a matter of a few weeks, I think it is. They're going to take about 3 or 4 weeks of training. 34 states have joined this initiative, including Indiana, Wyoming, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, Florida, and Maryland are joining us just today, and many of the representatives and leaders from those states are with us. It's actually a very big deal. This is a big deal. We believe that all 50 states and Washington, D.C. should join us in supporting these great veterans. And frankly, some of the states didn't know about it. They heard about it today, and I think they're all going to be signing up. Data shows that truck drivers who are veterans account for 42% fewer accidents. Think of that, 42%. And that number, they say, is a very minimal number.
I worked for some people who were around Prince and Bootsy and like in the whole like P-Funk scene and like other people. Those are some weird goddamn people.
More jobs for illegal aliens and more migrants and 18-wheelers, and Trump administration wants.
Trust me, I showed up on a few gigs where like I totally looked out of place.
Now I'd like to ask a man who's done a fantastic job on this subject and many others, Secretary Duffy, to say a few words, followed by
like showing up for like a Snoop Dogg show or like any of them, and they look at you like,
and I'll just stand here
who the
and
fuck
watch.
are you?
Thank you very much. Sean, go ahead.
I'm the guy making sure all your shit works.
So thank you, Mr. President. And
I'm the guy between the rental house
President Biden
and your road guy.
of illegals into this country, and he thought it would be a good idea that when they come in, they get a job, and they get a job driving a commercial motor vehicle. They didn't have the training. They didn't have the skill. We didn't do background checks in the last administration, so they could have had a mile-long rap sheet of crimes or drunk driving or speeding violations, but we didn't know who they were. And we saw that when those illegals were driving these big rigs, they were killing American citizens. You're a family that was on the way to Walmart, or you're going to church on a Sunday, you could lose your life on an American road. So because of the president's initiative, he signed an executive order over a year ago. It was the common sense rules of the road. And since you signed that executive order, we all have been working overtime to make sure we take illegals off American roads and we give those jobs to great Americans, including great American veterans.
Well, they should never have been allowed on the road to begin with. That was bad just to start with. But like the problem is a lot of these musicians, they kind of got the silver spoon shoved in their mouth, right? And they got something nobody else got, which was this awesome life. So they're speaking from the, their ivory tower, trying to tell everybody else how to do shit.
Have to go through months-long training for their skills and their knowledge test to drive this vehicle over here. Well, if Secretary Pete Hegseth thinks that you can drive a vehicle like this, Donald Trump and Sean Duffy think that you can drive a vehicle like that. So
I was active, I still do stuff, but between 2008 to now.
Patriots are in this administration. We've had more people
because I graduated in 2005.
Call us
2000. So and I was in college for about 3 years.
How do
so
I bring the great men and women who serve?
I was getting me a learning.
Bring them into my company. So you can go to freedomhaulers.
Now I teach college kids how to do my job.
.gov to get more information, but we are clearing the deck for you to get a great job in trucking. Mr. President, there's a lot of things that the radical left, as you mentioned, get angry about because they're radical.
One of
but safety for the American citizenry,
I guess they're apprentices, but one of them is now working for a company in Alabama doing pyrotechnics,
this is an American
which
issue.
is pretty cool.
Let's make sure American roads are safe. Let's make sure we put great patriots who serve this country on American roads, well-trained, with great skills, and I think this is one of the great legacies of
Are you talking about
I'm grateful for your leadership, putting America
the college
first,
kids I teach?
American
Yes,
veterans first,
yes, Chris, they
American
are.
roads first over the illegals, who the last administration prioritized. It has been just an honor to work with you, and to me, he's a master class. To see how this president operates, to watch him and learn from him is amazing. So thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sean and Mr. President. I can't think of anything else that says freedom more in our country than an open road truck and a veteran. Because you have veterans that said one thing, when they raised their right hand, they pledged what others would not do.
Are they going to allow the veterans to be armed in their trucks?
This country, when you told me, and I asked you that question, I said,
I think they should.
He said, just take care of my veterans. So every day now, since the last year and a half, veterans at the VA are first and only in what we do. And this.
Hey, Sev, did you ever get a lead on those magic cards?
Some things that we have done, Mr. President, you're behind this and working to get veterans on the road. I can't think of anything more American. I can't think of anything that puts us first instead of the illegals who want to come take jobs. Let's put veterans in the seats.
So I'm never going to be one of those people that opens up packs of cards for a whole thing.
Look, you proved once you can do it. I know for a fact you can do it every single day. As we look at this, some of the questions that come, the Wild West is over, so what do? How do we get our veterans into this? Well, one of the things that I want to emphasize is that we're now not only taking you as veterans, the GI Bill is going to be able to pay for this.
It's legal. I mean, legal's fine.
Use the money to go get your CDL license. You're able to get this, and we're going to make it a lot easier and a lot quicker. Like I said, for those of us who've rode in these.
But there's certain companies that were saying they didn't want truckers to be armed, and I'm sorry, if I'm going around every night and stopping at some sketchy ass places, I'm going to be armed. I'm armed as it is all the time.
Where the CDL and Disability Service
I'm armed right now.
Can get in that instead of having to wait the 2 years. So we're actually putting into place what is already there and saying, you know what?
All right, Seth, you know what to give me for Christmas now.
Our VRE programs are already ready to train veterans to go take these jobs.
I want the DS9 one.
As we go forward, let me just emphasize
because I'm going to take it and I'm going to stick it on my wall.
1 in 10 of our truck drivers across the country are veterans already.
There's your goal.
1 in 10. Why don't we make it 2 in 10? Why don't we make it 3 in 10? For those who want to get out and serve this country, who want to be the leaders and be the safety experts who drove these to drive these, will drive us as Americans in the future. We couldn't do this without a great partnership with the cabinet and our partners.
I'm so lost. I'm talking about guns. What are you talking about?
You can't do it without a president who doesn't look at what can't be. He looks at what can be. And Donald Trump has said when it comes to transportation and safety and keeping illegals off the road, but also putting our veterans first, you have a president who not only says it, but he does it, and we're here today to prove it. God bless you.
would like to thank President Trump for inviting us all here today. It is a profound honor to stand with you here at the White House, along with the brave veterans, the military leaders, and cabinet members, in the same month that we celebrated the 250th anniversary of our great country. If I could take a moment, for those of you that are at a camera and facing this way, there are hundreds of veterans here today. And I feel like we owe it to the veterans who have sacrificed. The saying
Well, no one's entitled to our social benefits.
And I would like to take a moment for all
They
of us
should
to
not
thank
be.
the people behind the camera.
Those are ours.
And the men here for
They can
their
go get their own.
service.
Sometimes I'm armed with two guns.
As President Trump said, I am Nathan Meisgeier. I'm the president of Werner Enterprises. Werner is one of America's largest, safest, and most successful transportation companies. This year, Werner proudly celebrates 7 decades of keeping the American economy moving. And after all, 75% of all freight in America moves by a truck. At Werner, 15% of our 14,000 associates nationwide.
Oh, you're talking about birthright citizenship.
A statistic that we're proud of.
So the problem is you got to go through the Constitution to change that.
Today,
That's going to be the big pain in the
a new
ass.
strategic initiative for our company. In tandem with the Trump administration's Freedom Haulers program, Werner Enterprises is
that the other
officially
day.
committing to hire 1,400 veterans in the coming year. This administration's Freedom Haulers campaign will have a direct and powerful impact on our ability to bring even more veterans into our workforce and into this great trucking economy. Cutting through red tape and translating a veteran's military driving experience directly into a civilian commercial driver's license. Veterans at Werner often move up the ranks into roles as driver leaders, and many serve as premier road team captains, mentoring the next generation of drivers and representing the absolute best of American trucking. We should all commit to ensure that every veteran returning home is met not just with handshakes and hugs and applause, but real opportunities to lead, drive, and succeed. Thank you again to President Trump and all of the members of the Trump administration who support our heroes and these pro-veteran initiatives. May God bless our veterans, may God bless our leaders, and may God bless America.
Convention for what? Sorry, I'm looking for other feeds.
My fellow Americans, Mr. President, and distinguished guests, is it an honor to
I
stand
have one
with
of
you
Maine
today.
behind me.
For 30 years of service, I have the privilege of wearing the uniform of the United States Army and the Army National Guard. Like so many who have answered the call, my service took me through moments of hardships and sacrifices. I reflect on which I carry with me every day. Serving this nation was an honor, but when the time came to take a uniform off, I faced the question veterans confront. How do I continue serving? For me, the answer was on the open road. Transition from military life behind the wheel of a commercial truck has brought a renewed sense of mission for me. Veterans make exceptional truck drivers because they have the core values of the military aligned seamlessly with the trucking industry. With discipline,
well, don't forget also about the polarization of the whole country, so that makes things just a wee bit harder.
On time. The trucking industry is more than just a sector of our economy. It is its backbone of our commerce. It is a place where service members, veterans, military spouse can find a purpose, a community, and a way to continue keeping our great nation moving forward. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless our service members and their family, and God bless the United States of America.
Anybody like to say anything? I just want to thank everybody for being here. This is going to be a big day for our wonderful patriots, our great veterans. They're going to produce like nobody else can produce. And thank you very much. And I want to thank you and especially all those people you're going to be hiring. But I know a lot of your competitors are also doing the same thing. So it's going to be really fantastic. Sean, thank you. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, everybody, for the job you've done very much. Bye. Thank you.
All right, as you see there, listening in to that event that happened at the White House earlier this week, as we heard from.
What they do? Honestly, courage would have been refusing to hand over that $70 billion until federal agents were required to identify themselves, respect due process, and answer publicly when force was used. Courage would have been telling Donald Trump that no administration receives a blank check to operate above the Constitution. Instead, when Trump demanded the money, Collins gave him her vote.
Happy you like it, buddy. I'm not sure how long I'll be on. I have to go to sleep at some point.
Maine deserves better than this, regardless of who
After I got off the show last night, I went and passed out. Release the Bulls. You know, I think we're all waiting for the running of the Bulls through. Well, unfortunately, it's not Spain, that's Africa. So.
What's happening right now. But we can't do that without abandoning due process, treating entire communities like suspects, or letting armed agents operate without accountability. You know what weakens public safety, and you heard it just a minute ago, is making entire communities afraid to call the police.
There you go, that's cool. Or lions.
Take a child to school, or seek medical care. This is not America. This is not what I grew up believing in. What weakens public safety is teaching people that someone with a mask, a weapon, or an unmarked vehicle can take them away without clear identification or any explanation. And what weakens public safety is a government that demands trust while refusing accountability. Susan Collins offers concern after damage is done. No, I'm not running for the United States Senate to write strongly worded letters while Donald Trump attacks our rights and terrorizes our community.
Was this the guy that slept with his cousin?
I'm running for what I always done. Hold administrations accountable. To demand that federal officers identify themselves and insist on transparency wherever force is used, and to defend due process. I'm running to make clear that no president, agency, official, or officer is above the Constitution. We are building this movement.
If you're illegally here, you're not under the Constitution because you're not a citizen of the country.
Business owners and working families who understand that unchecked power eventually threatens us all. Demanding the care this country promised, and the immigrant demanding due process are both asking for the same fundamental thing: for their government to treat them just like human beings and honor its
Come here legally, you get treated well then. Come here illegally, you do not get treated well.
Always want us divided. That is their goal. They want us angry at immigrants. They want working people blaming one another.
No! Here's off the rails. Overdoses, rain, and smells like UTI Fest. Oh, God.
We have to refuse that division.
Nasty.
And we should stand together for a government that is strong enough to enforce the law and disciplined enough to obey it. A government that protects public safety without sacrificing.
I want a government that understands that I'm disabled and then gives me my disability. That'd be real nice. Not anybody else, but that would help me quite a bit.
We're asked to uphold. That is what the Constitution demands. And that
I know, I'm asking for a lot
is
here.
what every person in this country, every person in Maine deserves. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for not listening to divide us. Thank you for everything that you're going to do to make these guys in this country better.
I have. One of them, so I went through everything and they're like, well, yeah, you're disabled, but you're 1 credit away. I was like, well, if I'm disabled, how am I going to get that 1 credit? And they've responded back to me. So now I have to go through it all over again.
And prosecute those assholes. All right, so
Why are you going to prosecute someone's asshole? That's weird.
I wrote an invitation to 186 legislators on Tuesday. One of those reply all emails that everybody dreads. Well, I did it for the first time on Tuesday.
Oh, man, he sent a strongly worded email.
Replies from Republicans. Comply and you won't get hurt. We had I don't know who of them signed up to speak here today with their 25 pro-ICE protesters. That's the type of stuff that we hear in the State House. All right? So I'm going to tell you a little story real quick. I still got 10 minutes.
Another man named Brady.
So y'all bear with me. This is a little personal right here. So back in 2006, it was a Friday afternoon. I went home early. I got a phone call from
I wish I had more credits, but I mean, I haven't been working that long.
Just notified us all that one of us needs to go to Afghanistan. So I talked to my wife that weekend, and I knew I wanted to go. I'd wanted to go since I was a kid.
You wanted to go to Afghanistan since you were a kid?
My father was a military man
Weird.
during the Cold War. Diesel boat submariner. So within 2 months we were in training. There were some people that got 1 or 2 days notice before they were off to Indiana.
But they didn't say you're not disabled. They just said we don't want to give you money. It's like, oh, all right.
They needed our help. The 53rd Transportation Battalion out of Massachusetts. So we showed up and we started doing their job that we had just learned. 160 of us there. All right? And we were spread all over the country. We were taught how to look for IEDs, BB IEDs, bad guys with guns. And we all had incidences where we could have...
Does that look like a guy there that was on the front lines?
We were afraid for our lives, and we were. We were.
I hear Mark's been telling me about he had a hell of a good time about it.
And unfortunately, one of us now lives with the fact that he did kill someone over there in their country.
I'm going to tell you right now, Marksman who comes out in here, I'm not going to say that he's killed a person. I'm going to tell you he probably killed a lot of people. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. It was work.
Victims of what's happening in our country.
Oh, that guy? Yes. Marksman, no. Marksman was a recon Marine and a door kicker. So.
A true representative democracy is not something we inherit. It is something every generation must protect.
I'm going to end it in a second, guys. Thank you for following and liking, sharing.
Battlefields, but by ordinary people who show up in their communities with courage, compassion.
And I want to thank all the weirdos in the chat for outing themselves so I can block them.
Don't let this be the end. Learn the facts before sharing them. Support organizations that defend constitutional rights. Volunteer in your community. Attend your city's council meetings and school board meetings. Contact your legislators, even me, whether you agree with them or not, and tell them what kind of Maine you want to build.
If you found out this man had Chinese citizenship, would you be surprised? Hold on, you're not even from here.
And the primaries. If you're able, consider serving on a municipal board, running for office, or helping someone else who shares your values do the same. Be a driver for them. Introduce yourself to your neighbors. Build relationships.
I'll take your word for it.
Across differences.
My time in the Army got denied very early because they wanted me to have a fully working right arm. Sons of bitches.
Peacefully, respectfully, constitutionally
Lindsey Graham's sister declares war on Spain. Oh, I don't know how well that's going to work.
Leave this place committed to making our corner of Maine safer, kinder, and more committed to justice than we're finding it right now. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for honoring your Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero and his family, thank you for choosing peace. We now invite anyone who wishes
It's okay, Nancy, I blocked him.
the silent procession or not to the memorial as we walk together. Let's remind our community that the work of preserving democracy continues long after today's gathering is ended. Our democracy does not belong to politicians. It belongs to the people, you.
Well, but the people vote in the politicians, right? Like, isn't it?
All right, thank you guys for watching. I got some people I gotta go say hi to, so I'm gonna end it right now. I'm gonna try to go live more often, so I'll see you next time.
If you haven't already, please.
Aw, man. Are we all assuming Mitch McConnell's dead, right? I don't know where we're all sitting with that these days. Like, we all know he's not, you know. The lights might be on, but there's nobody home. Yeah, either way, I don't think he's going to be coming back. But I think he's just... I don't think there's anything upstairs anymore there. I think that stroke pretty much cooked his brain. If he is alive anyways, and that's a big if, right? Like... Speaking of Bernie, the Sanders one, not the Colonel, not the guy with the chicken, but he's getting roasted left and right for his dumbass stuff on X right now. People are like, oh, you know, you're talking about people giving money. I guess because he's going after Elon Musk. Oh, you're upset with people giving money, blah, blah, blah. But when Soros is giving you money, you know, it was all right. When Hillary was, you know, embezzling, it was all right. You know what's going to be really good, though, especially for Mitch McConnell? Him and Lindsey Graham are probably going to vote for, you know, a Democrat in the next election. That's kind of dark. But you know it's true. So I don't know why the Beirut skyline's now coming up more. It's kind of making me wonder, like, uh-oh. We're going to start seeing stuff coming down in Beirut again? Maybe. Maybe. All right, I'm going to call it at night or at morning. I'm going to go get some sleep, and then I'll be back, folks. Oh, why it's so dark? I have no idea. Could be. Could be. But I'm going to get some rest, and then I'll be back for my 6 o'clock show or earlier, or maybe later. I don't know. My sleep schedule all screwed up. But y'all have a good day. Take it easy. Yep, you too. Take it easy, everyone. We are $10 away from filling our bar. It's the 1st. So traditionally on the 1st, we always try to get the bar as high as we can. Kind of sets the period for the rest of the month. So we'll be doing a second show anyway, so we'll see where that goes. So you have a good one, everybody. Take it easy. Love you all. I will talk to you later today. Bye-bye. So long, friends. So long. I don't know what song to put on. Anyways, no song then. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night. That is true, Rocco's. It's true. He's killed more people than the plague, I think. All right, good night, everyone. Or good morning. Have a good day. Whatever. Something. Talk to you later.